You probably plant potatoes once a season, dig them up months later, and that's the end of the harvest. But thousands of years ago, farmers discovered a simple trick that can dramatically increase how many potatoes you grow in a small space. Instead of spreading plants across large fields, they gradually buried the plant as it grew taller, forcing it to produce new underground stems, and each of those stems can grow more potatoes. Today, you can use this exact same idea with something as simple as a bucket. In this video, you'll learn exactly how the potato method works, what materials you need, how to plant potatoes step by step, and the small mistakes that prevent most people from getting a big harvest. The first thing you need is a container. A standard 5-gallon bucket works perfectly, although larger containers or plastic barrels can produce even bigger harvests. The most important detail is drainage. Potatoes do not like sitting in water, so you need to drill several holes in the bottom of the bucket. Usually, 4 to 6 holes are enough to allow excess water to escape while still holding enough moisture for the plant to grow. Once the bucket is ready, the next step is choosing the right potatoes. While it's possible to use grocery store potatoes, seed potatoes usually perform better because they are grown specifically for planting and are less likely to carry diseases. A seed potato can be planted whole if it is small, or it can be cut into pieces as long as each piece contains at least 1 or 2 eyes. These eyes are the small buds where new shoots will grow. Each piece should be about the size of a golf ball, so it contains enough stored energy to start the plant. Now it's time to prepare the soil. Potatoes grow best in loose, fertile soil that drains well and allows roots to expand easily. A good mixture is garden soil combined with compost and a material that keeps the soil light, such as sand, cocoa coir, or peat moss. Fill the bucket with about 4 to 6 inches of this soil mixture. Place 2 or 3 seed potatoes on top of the soil with the eyes facing upward, then cover them with another few inches of soil. After planting, place the bucket somewhere that receives plenty of sunlight. Potatoes grow best with at least 6 hours of sunlight per day. Water the soil until it becomes evenly moist but not soaked. Within 1 or 2 weeks, small green shoots will begin pushing through the soil surface. This is where the ancient trick begins to work. As the potato plant grows and reaches about 6 to 8 inches tall, add more soil into the bucket, burying most of the stem while leaving only the top leaves visible. This technique is called hilling. When the stem is buried, the plant begins forming new underground stems known as stolons, and those stolons are what eventually grow new potatoes. Over the next several weeks, you repeat this process again and again. Every time the plant grows another 6 to 8 inches, add more soil and bury the lower part of the stem. Slowly, the bucket fills with layers of soil. Inside those layers, the plant continues producing new underground stems and more potatoes. Think of it like building a vertical potato tower inside the bucket. Instead of producing potatoes in just one shallow layer of soil, the plant now grows potatoes throughout multiple levels of the container. This is why the potato method can produce such impressive harvests from such a small space. As the plant reaches the top of the bucket, you simply allow it to grow normally while keeping the soil moist. Potatoes prefer consistent watering, but they should never sit in soggy soil. Too much water can cause rot, while too little water slows growth and reduces the harvest. Feeding the plant is usually simple. If compost was mixed into the soil at the beginning, the plant often has enough nutrients for most of the growing season. If the leaves begin turning pale or yellow, adding a small amount of balanced organic fertilizer can help maintain strong growth. After several weeks, the plant may begin producing small flowers. This is often a sign that potatoes are forming underground. Some gardeners like to harvest a few early new potatoes by gently reaching into the soil and removing a couple while leaving the plant growing. This allows the rest of the potatoes to continue developing. The full harvest usually happens when the plant's leaves begin turning yellow and eventually dry out. At that point, the potatoes underground have reached their full size. Harvesting is simple. Just tip the bucket onto the ground and sift through the soil. What looked like a simple bucket often reveals a surprisingly large pile of potatoes inside. One of the biggest advantages of this method is efficiency. A bucket takes up very little space but can produce several pounds of potatoes. With several buckets lined along a fence, balcony, or backyard wall, even a small area can produce a meaningful amount of food. Another benefit is control. Because potatoes are grown in containers, it's easier to control the soil quality, watering schedule, and pests. If one container develops a problem, it doesn't affect the rest of your plants. This simple method has survived for thousands of years because it works with the natural biology of the potato plant. By gradually burying the stem and encouraging more underground growth, you give the plant more space to produce food. The result is a compact system that turns a simple bucket into a surprisingly productive mini potato farm. What started as a simple bucket is now a compact system that can produce pounds of potatoes in a tiny space. And once you understand how this ancient trick works, you can repeat it again and again. If you enjoy learning simple backyard techniques like this that help you grow more food in less space, consider subscribing. Each week, we explore practical gardening methods that anyone can use to turn small backyards, patios, or balconies into productive food gardens.